We know the big moments. The angelic announcement, the star all over Bethlehem, the miracles years later. But what happened in between? When the angels left and the shepherds went back to their fields, the real work began. For roughly 30 years, the creator of the universe lived in a space smaller than a modern two-car garage, hidden in a town known for absolutely nothing, and tasked with raising him was a young woman named Mary. Imagine the psychological weight she carried. She knows who he is. She remembers the prophecies. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. But right now, the Son of the Most High needs breakfast. And the Romans are patrolling down the road, and the water jar needs filling. The toddler Jesus runs into the frame, laughing, tripping over a mat. Mary instinctively reaches out, catching him just before he hits the stone floor. She pulls him into a tight, protective hug, burying her face in his neck. How do you parent a child you know is perfect, yet still helpless? Every scraped knee, every fever, must have felt like a cosmic crisis. She was the guardian of God's physical vulnerability. The Bible gives us a glimpse into her internal world during these years. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. Luke 2:19. She pondered, she kept secrets, and she went back to grinding the grain. As Jesus grew, Mary's role shifted. She became the observer of his preparation. We often call Joseph a carpenter, but the Greek word is tekton, a builder, a stonemason. It was brutal, heavy work. Joseph is showing Jesus how to plane a large, rough beam of olive wood. Jesus is concentrated, mimicking Joseph's movements. Mary is in the background, visible through a doorway or window, mending clothes, but her gaze is fixed on them. Mary watched the hands that formed the galaxies learn how to hold a hammer without bruising a thumb. She watched him learn the humility of hard labor. She must have wondered at the irony. The one who designed the structure of the atom is now learning about load-bearing beams and tensile strength from Joseph. Looking across a small courtyard at Jesus, who is sitting on a stool, struggling to read a scroll, he looks frustrated. And she was his first teacher. In a world where few could read, Mary and Joseph ensured he knew the Torah. Imagine that dynamic. Mary sitting in the evening light, telling young Jesus the stories of Noah, of Abraham, of Moses leading the people out of slavery. She is reciting something. Jesus looks at her, then at the scroll, and a look of profound realization crosses his young face. She was teaching the author his own book. Did he ask questions she couldn't answer? Did she see flashes in his eyes that said, "I remember when we did that"? For Mary, these years were a long lesson in stewardship. He was hers to protect, but he was never truly hers to keep. There is only one story recorded of Jesus' adolescence. He is 12 years old. The family travels to Jerusalem for Passover. It's the moment the dynamic shifts forever. Mary and Joseph, they are panicked, pushing through people, turning their heads frantically, calling out his name. They lose him. For 3 days, the panic any parent feels, multiplied by the knowledge that they have lost the Messiah. The guilt must have been crushing, had they failed the mission. They find him in the temple courts, sitting among the greatest religious minds of the era. A small, 12-year-old Jesus sitting calmly in the middle of them. Jesus is speaking, the elders are leaning in, looking astounded, confused, and captivated. He isn't just listening, he's teaching. And when Mary, relieved, angry, exhausted, finally confronts him, his answer is the first crack in her heart. He says, "Why were you searching for me? Didn't you know I had to be in my Father's house?" The realization hits her. Joseph is his earthly guardian, but God is his father. The separation has begun. It was the moment she realized the quiet years in Nazareth were coming to an end. He was no longer just her son, he belonged to the world. Jesus is walking slightly ahead of Mary and Joseph now. Yet, the Bible records an incredible act of humility right after this realization. He went home. For 18 more silent years, the God of the universe submitted to his mother's authority. He finished his chores. He learned his trade. From the small house in Nazareth, revealing the wider hills of Galilee, and eventually, in the far distance, the Sea of Galilee where his ministry would begin. Mary's greatest task wasn't just the birth. It was the daily, grinding, glorious work of preparing the Messiah for a mission that would break her heart and save the world.